Joining us now is the Attorney General of the state of North Carolina, Josh Stein. I'm so glad you're with us this morning because Chuck Schumer says you are the exact right person to lead an investigation on this. So where does it stand?
Well, first of all, the idea that somebody would make a contribution and then be reimbursed by a corporation or an individual, that's a straw donor, that would be a violation of the law. And clearly, any credible allegations along those lines need to be investigated to determine whether the law was violated, whether it's state law or federal. So there's actually a role for both federal and state authorities. In North Carolina, the State Board of Elections is the organization that investigates campaign finance violations, and then they will make a referral to a local district attorney. I am the counsel to the state board, and sometimes I will assist local district attorneys in prosecuting cases. Therefore, I can't get into the specifics of any particular case.
Can you say if you've confirmed any of the Washington Post reporting?
I can't. I can just say that any allegation that's this serious merits investigation.
All right, then let's just say it's true. What the Washington Post is reporting is true, and he did pressure employees and then later reimburse them. If that were the case, what would the consequences be?
To give for a corporation to reimburse an employee for a political contribution would be a felony in North Carolina. And for felonies, there are no statute of limitations.
President Trump suggested that voters in your state actually vote twice. You could vote by mail, and then if you're not sure if it went through, even though you can actually check online, you should go and vote in person. We know what the president is suggesting is absolutely false. What are you doing in your state to clear up any confusion? Because sowing confusion doesn't help the election system.
No, it's a terrible thing that he said, absolutely reckless and absolutely wrong. So I'm using every opportunity to try to counter that message here in North Carolina, as is the State Board of Elections. And so thank you for just saying those words. It is illegal in North Carolina to vote twice. It's also absolutely unnecessary. We're the first state in the country that has mail-in ballots. They got shipped on Friday. I haven't gotten mine yet. I expect it to be in my mailbox today, and I'm excited to cast my ballot for this election. But you can then track that electronically online to see that it was received. And on Friday, starting Friday, you can actually get text alerts from the state board that it was received. The idea that you would test the receipt of your ballot by voting a second time is awful and very unfortunate, because sadly there are North Carolinians who will do what he said because the president said it.
And when can we assume all of these mail-in ballots, if people use them, will get counted in the state of North Carolina? Do you have the bandwidth to do so?
We have a really solid election administration process here. As I said, the first state in the country to do mail-in absentee ballot. Anybody can request it for any reason. You send it in, you can be notified electronically it was received. The state board will then tabulate the ballot before Election Day. The county boards of election will tabulate it before Election Day, meaning that it gets run through the scanner. It doesn't get summed up, so we don't know how many votes go before Election Day. But it means that on Election Day, all they have to do is push a button, and we will know who won all the early vote, 17 days of early voting in North Carolina, who won the mail-in voting up to Election Day, and who won on Election Day. The only votes that will not be counted as of election night are those mail-in ballots that came in on Election Day or the next 3 days. Those will, and any provisional ballots that were cast on Election Day. Otherwise, we will have very fulsome results on election night.
Sounds like the message is, if you are going to vote by mail, get it done early. Last question to you. President Trump headed to your state to give a speech at the airport in Winston-Salem. The local GOP chair there is urging the president to wear a mask. What's your message to him?
Wear a mask whenever you're in any crowd. Everyone needs to. This virus has not gone away. The rates of infection remain very high. If we want to get our economy going again, if we want our kid, my daughter is in the next room doing her schoolwork because she's not in her local public school. If we want our kids back in school, if we want sports to go full force, we need to quash this virus. And that means wearing a mask. It means keeping distant from people, washing our hands, all the sensible things that we know work.
Well, bravo to your daughter. My son is one room away, and I've got a sinking feeling he's not doing his schoolwork. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.